Can you tell I'm in denial?
You can't stay at the top forever.
I was also very surprised when I looked at my phone and saw Joe Girardi dismissed.
Well, I think mine were with common sense.
I think now belongs in the all-time greats top 10.
Boston, I really think only got to this point because of a guy named Chris Middleton being out for the Bucks.
That power play just was unbearable. It was humming.
Man, am I happy. I knew that this was going to happen. I knew he was going to come back.
When I think of New York Yankees now, it's Judge. Probably people in the past when Jeter was coming up.
I would be shocked. A little bit hurt.
Hey, this is Greg Tepper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, TexasFootball.com, and Valley Sports Southwest. You are listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NFL Opinions of the Week, and this comes with, after you, of course, you have Philip Rivers, which is bigger than the other one, which is, to me, what I remember with Joe Flacco coming out of retirement and playing for the Browns, then kind of having a career again for the past few years as a backup and making some key plays. But Philip Rivers kind of really emphasizes the issue or in question of, is there an NFL development problem when guys can just come off who they were great quarterbacks in their prime and then near the end of their careers kind of come back and still be able to make some key plays
and put their teams in positions to win. I do think there is a problem. And there's been a lot of talk about the modern defense, how it's slowed offenses down. But Philip Rivers has played two of the better defenses in the league and has given a team to win in both. And against the San Francisco 49ers, we already talked about this, they've only allowed 27 points now 3 times all season. This is the third time all season they've allowed this many points to be scored against them. The 49ers defense has been good. And again, the modern defense, everybody talks modern defense, the modern defense this, the modern defense that. But I always think about the tweet, we used to watch gods play QB. That tweet plays in my head all the time. And it's just like, I didn't really believe it at first. I'm like, he's just being nostalgic. The defenses have changed. They've gotten better. But after watching Rivers' performance on Monday, okay, something's definitely wrong. I mean, if you watch the game, and I know you didn't get the chance to watch it, Kevin, but he's calling things out before anything happens. He's throwing the ball with such anticipation that it doesn't matter that the ball's moving at 5 miles an hour because he knows where everybody's going to be. He knows how to throw it to the guy to make it to where no one's going to catch it besides his own guy. Yes, he threw a pick at the end of the game, but that first 3.5 quarters was remarkable. And even including the pick, he had a 97 passer rating. That's higher than most guys. He's averaging more yards per game than guys that have played like Cam Ward or Kyler Murray or Lamar or he's averaging 198.5 yards per game passing through 2 weeks, which again is higher than a lot of QBs that are starters. I don't understand. I really don't. Yeah, he has more yards per game passing than Mac Jones, who made a lot of starts this year, Lamar, Kyler, Bryce Young, Cameron Ward, Tua Tagovailoa, Shedeur, Jaden Daniels, Spencer Rattler, Davis Mills, guys who made a lot of starts. Kirk Cousins, Jake Browning, because he got a lot of starts, Justin Fields, Russell Wilson. I mean, it's just insane how many quarterbacks he's been above that have made multiple starts this season in yards per game, and he's played in 2. I don't. Before we talk about Philip Rivers, this is more about the future. Do you think that more QBs from the golden age QBs, which would be Roethlisberger, Brady, Manning, should be signed as at least quarterback coaches and paid a lot of money to do so? Because that would give you such an advantage if your QB could call things out at the line of scrimmage before they happen to get your guys going, than not. Because it seems like the defenses have so much control over these QBs now, and then Rivers did what he did and just slices and dices them with 10-mile-an-hour passes.
Yeah, thinking about that, yes, it would be great if you got the golden age of quarterbacks to coach, but I think you can just get an average quarterback during that time to be that quarterback's coach because they know how to do it. It's just kind of how well did they do it. I think they understand how to read defenses. It's just some of the mistakes they made, which I think could help. But another thing that I think a reason could be for this, of kind of older quarterbacks coming in and still being able to do it, is yes, because of the knowledge, but also you talk about development. To me, the NFL, if you look at those guys, Philip Rivers didn't immediately start. Peyton Manning did start immediately. Same thing with Roethlisberger. Tom Brady, of course, took some time. But I think there is a different agenda with offenses. It's to get those quick results. And there's a lot of stuff that offensive coordinators can do before the snap that helps their quarterbacks understand what the defense is doing versus a quarterback like Philip Rivers, Peyton Manning, coming up and realizing, okay, this is what the defense is showing me. This is what I've seen on film and how I'm going to attack it. So I think there's different approaches for quarterbacks and offenses now versus where the quarterback is figuring everything out instead of the offenses moving through motion and kind of acknowledging, okay, it must be man. If they're doing this, this is how they're shifting. Because I do think Philip Rivers is also doing dummy calls, kind of going, okay, this is it. Confusing the defense, because I did see the clip of him calling plays at the line, adding new things at the line. And I think you don't see that in today's NFL because offense coordinators have simplified it and made it in quick plays to where you can just get it to their playmakers. And I think a part of that is the pressure of immediate success in the NFL for these coaches. They don't have time to develop these quarterbacks fully.
I think that's I think that's putting too much blame on the QBs because the coaches, like you said, they want to win quickly, but winning quickly is something that you can do with the young QB if you allow them to learn a lot during the offseason before. Football has the longest offseason of any of the four major sports. You could teach a lot to somebody during those times, giving them a ton of looks and helping them learn quickly. And while they're not going to be perfect in their first game, there's stuff they can learn. And I feel like they're not learning anything other than just throw the ball to where the OC thinks they can throw the ball to. If you think about it like this, the offensive coordinator or whoever the play caller is, whether it's the head coach, offensive coordinator, or somebody else, with 15 seconds left, they can't hear him on the play clock. So there's a 40-second play clock. With 15 seconds left, it goes dark. Those 15 seconds for Philip Rivers is his most active 15 seconds. But for every other QB in the league, it's silence. You have to take advantage of those extra 15 seconds that you're given without the offensive coordinator in your ear to actually analyze because he could be wrong. Now, obviously, not as a rookie QB are you going to be able to tell your OC, hey, I'm audibly on every single one of your calls. But hey, if you see something and the OC says run the ball to the left and you see that that is impossible, then making an audible there would help your team. And that's what Philip Rivers has been able to do, is audible into plays that he knows will have a good chance of success. And if every play has a 75% chance of success, you're going to move the ball down the field, whether you're throwing the ball at 10 miles an hour or not. A lot of these QBs have a play with it's a high percentage chance of success, and then like a 4% chance of success, and then like an 80% chance of success, and then like a 10% chance of success, because they don't change their look. So it gives the defense so much opportunity to actually read what the offense is doing. Because even if you're motioning is only valuable, in my opinion, for two reasons. One, if you have a really fast guy and want to get him out on a route quicker, sure, that makes sense. But it also is really useful whenever you're trying to read a defense, to know if it's man or not, or also just to shift. Okay, I know it's zone anyway, but this part of the zone is weakest, so I want to get 3 receivers over here, so let me move a guy over. I don't understand why teams that motion every play still don't use it to their advantage. There's a lot of teams that do use motion, but all they do is just get a guy moving, which honestly helps the defense know where the route is going anyway. How many times do you see a guy run left and then run right on the route? It's not that often. Like if they motion left and then run right. It's not that often that those routes happen. So it's helping the defense more than it is the offense. But Rivers has flipped that dynamic, allowing his team to, again, take advantage of what the defense is showing them, knowing that the offense controls the play. The defense has to be the reactor. But now they're making the offense the reactor by not reading what the defense is doing. If you're making one last thing, sorry. The OC can only see how much the OC is talking to the QB while they're in the huddle with 15 seconds left. When they actually go out, you did a little bit of defensive work. I've taught you what a shell is. They could be shelling something before the offense comes out, so the OC calls a play for that particular defense. And then when they come out, oh shoot, this is a different defense, and this play is now terrible.
Yeah, that is a fair point. And they even did that with Peyton Manning. They would have their shell till the final few seconds to where he couldn't make changes. I remember the Steelers doing that to him when he was with the Colts. And just because Peyton Manning was a master at it, other quarterbacks were great at it as well. But Manning kind of was the guy that was always focused on it, and the quarterbacks would still make changes. I think another part is you talk about the quarterbacks having time. I think they do have time and they do study, but I think it's on different things. It's kind of this RPO look and stuff the offensive coordinator really wants to focus on. And I do think it's just an emphasis in different things. And they don't really trust the young quarterbacks at the beginning to call those plays to be able to do those audibles. They're focused on different things. So that to me is when you see a quarterback get older. I think Dak does it now, kind of with reading that defense. And Mahomes, I think, does it. And it's just a lot of those young quarterbacks they're focusing on just getting results and getting them to make plays instead of teaching them everything and then kind of seeing what they do.
Do you think this Philip Rivers experience will change how QBs are coached moving forward? Or is this a flash in the pan? This is the last time we see anything like this at the line of scrimmage?
I think this is a flash in the pan. I don't see offenses changing the way they were. But yeah.
Even though they've been statistically worse over the last 4 years than they have been in the past 20.
Yes, I do think. Well, I think the only change I would see is kind of as defenses start to get lighter, they start at getting into 12 personnel and running the ball more to take advantage of that. I think we're starting to see that. I do think things come in and out of style, but I don't see the emphasis on quarterbacks changing and going back to what it was in the past.
Okay. Well, I really hope they do, because we've seen it's not like mobile QBs can't do that. Steve Young did it. Michael Vick did it. We've seen mobile QBs be able to read a defense and make changes on the fly. It's not only the field general that has to do that. I hope they do, because it's better for the sport. It is better for offense. It's just flat out better for offense. But whether or not they're going to be able to do it or choose to do it, we'll see. But I do think it's better for offense, just scoring points wise, to have your QB do that. Because, I mean, I think it's even more beneficial if your QB is a dual threat, because being able to read the line, now you yourself running the ball is also something that the defense can't, that it's going to have to take into consideration, giving you more of an advantage that they don't have.
Yeah, I think there's still exciting parts, but it is fun kind of hearing them make plays at the line and different calls at the line. It could be dumb calls or it could be an important call, but we'll have to see, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. We appreciate you listening to Outsiders Opinions.